mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon / good evening on this fine Wednesday. Wow, I'm so not used yet to doing the weekday thing because, as folks know, I'm usually go on Sundays. But since it's summer and my work affords me June and July mostly off, I'm doing this, and I get to hang out with a bunch of different cool folks. And today it's this guy, Gaijin, aka Marcus of the Fallen Fett Chronicles, and just customizing fame and collecting and all the things. What's up, Marcus?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, thank you so much for joining, man. This is the nice thing about being able to like have a little bit more freedom. It's like I want to hang out with a bunch of different folks that I watch, like yourself, like Ernie, but it's like, okay, I do it every Sunday, and you know, it sounds like a lot, but there's like what 52 Sundays, and so it's just like, oh man, I want to hang out with that person, and then you're like, oh, I want to kick it with that person again, and so eventually you're like, oh, how am I gonna do this? So this is cool that we get to hang out. I've been watching you over there for a while. I've been hanging out with you over there in other chats, and then how long has it been now that you've been over on the Fallen Fett Chronicles?
As a guest host, like maybe about a year, I think.
Yeah,
just about.
Oh. And then before then, you were again mainly in the chat, but you'd pop up every now and then, and you were modding for the longest time too, right? Or is that the right word?
Yeah. Okay. I was a mod for a bit in the beginning. Well, not in the beginning of the channel, but like prior to being a guest host. And
nice.
Then but yeah, for the most part, I was just in the chat, just kind of being a little bit too talkative, but that was just me.
No, it was so I love Ernie and everything he does. He's just sort of like, we have a lot of crossover, I think, in terms of interests. But what I find that when I watch him, every now and then there's just something new, some random thing, and I was like, oh my god, he's into ghosts. And so like over the maybe 2 years, or no, way more than 2 years. What am I saying? Like lockdown, pandemic. So but it was like off and on. Sometimes he was really active, and then sometimes not. The Disney stuff, you know, I too love Disney. So anyways, so I watch, and it's just all sorts of stuff happens, and it's kind of always been and Ernie knows I love him, but it's been a little bit random. Like it's all literally like all over the place, and he likes that. That's his whole thing, right? He's like, oh, we talk toys all the time, but this is a different place, and it goes like some of the best shows in the past were like, okay, what are we gonna talk about? And then the chat comes in. So when you say you were chatting a lot, I think you were helping him.
Yeah. I like in the I think for a period of time, like in the chat, I would drop some like news, like updates that were happening at the time, and then eventually Ernie just tagged me along. He just kind of like grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and said, "You're on." And
totally carrying you in the back of your neck with his teeth.
Yeah.
That was great. And then you jumped on, and there was the three of you for a while. No, actually four. So oh my god, why am I totally blanking. Yoko. Sorry, Yoko.
Dario.
Like, has it been that long, Brick? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So she was there, and then Dario would pop on, and then eventually kind of off and on for a while, and then you were in there, and it was fun.
Tommy too. Tommy was there as well.
That's right. And Tommy bringing in the quizzes and the trivia, super fun. But then you have been really helpful with that news, like you said, with you dropping the news before, and now you're kind of like are prepared. So you were talking a little bit before this. You seem to be a preparer. That's your thing, huh?
I try my best, man. Like I get so nervous because sometimes there are those weeks where not a lot is coming out and it's just kind of like a dry spell. And it's
Yeah.
just like some of these companies are trying to do their best to keep news relatively tight and not leak anything. And other than that, it's just like rumors that are going that are just running around the community. So
But I love that you also are like, hey, check out this film, or did you see this, and all the like the entertainment stuff. Like your news is broad, which I think is very much fitting with what Ernie does, you know, like all over the place. And he'll come with the UFO or UAP and all the other sightings and the interdimensional stuff to fill in the gaps where where you weren't quite prepared.
For the Mandela effects and stuff.
Yeah.
And the shadow governments. I shouldn't even say that. I'm not trying to get your channel taken down.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
It's okay. They know. We have a good relationship. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I wanted today to kind of talk a little bit about your toy collecting and customizing too. Are you at all? I'm curious. Do you do art as well? You do, right? Like your logo is your design?
Oh yeah, yeah. I probably should have sent you some, but yeah, I do illustration every once in a while. I'm starting to get back into it because sometimes I kind of like transfer my attention to different hobbies. So if it's like customizing, and then if I like lose motivation, then I transfer my attention to photography. And as of right now, I haven't done any of that in almost half a year, just because the world is kind of burning at this point.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And you've got plenty to divert your attention on Tuesdays or whenever you guys go on. So no, I hear that. And I ask about the art because, you know, oftentimes I find customizers, I mean, it's a different art form. It's a 3D art form, right? That requires your hands and all that kind of thing. But also there's the concept. Plus you sent over some, a cool comic artist that I didn't know about. So I didn't know if you drew yourself as well. So comic book guy too? Is that something, I'm assuming, given the characters you collect?
I feel like I should have said yes, but the thing is, as a kid, when my dad is more of a comic fan than I am, and he would always get comic books from the library or from a local comic shop when I was a kid. I wasn't the most literate kid growing up, so I would
weren't into reading. Yeah,
I was more obsessed with the pictures and the designs, but I try to be more in tune with reading, I suppose.
Dude, I'm the same way. Well, that's the beauty of comics, right? And that's why more and more we're seeing the like embrace of graphic novels in schools in particular, because it actually, you know, all the research has found that it helps like reluctant readers or just, you know, different folks are like approaching literacy very differently. So my kids were all about things like, you know, Dogman and what is the other one? The cat. No, that's Dogman.
Captain Underpants, maybe.
Captain Underpants, and then there's the Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah,
a little bit more text, so it's very visual. Like, and they love that, which I totally get because that was me. But I was the same way, man. My brother and I collected comics, and I looked at them and I kind of picked up the stories, but I was really into just like staring at them, and then eventually start reading them. But you know, and get into the story. But you know, so I get that. So you're probably more visually driven then. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense given the stuff that you do in your work, the stuff that you collect. But it is interesting to me though, that you do collect a lot of like Mafex DC stuff, right? So were you into reading the DC stories eventually? Like, did that become kind of your world?
I think, yeah. Cause as a kid, I mean, like I said, going back to my dad, he would always get DC stuff, even though it's kind of funny
DC
now,
specifically.
Yeah. Cause nowadays he would say, "Oh, I'm more of a Marvel fan." I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" I don't know. But like I remember just reading, I'm using that term very loosely.
Yeah.
Teen Titans, Justice League, and this was in the 2000s. So it was
okay,
very,
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
It was like the tone is very different then than it is now, because nowadays, especially with artists like Dan Mora, Jorge Jimenez, Bruno Redondo, I love their work. And not only that, but just the writing itself, it's
very different.
It's just very different. They're really leaning into the more optimistic sort of tone, and I really enjoy that a lot more.
It's funny. So I'm significantly older, born in 76. But funny enough, my dad was also instrumental in getting me into this nerd stuff because he came home one day with a pile of comics and basically announced that my brother and I, you guys are going to collect comics. And we did. And so I think that's really cool that your dad came home or would come home and bring like all these different comics. And so you never actually did the whole like floppies and collecting, weekly or monthly comics and then back long boxes, or did you ever fall into that trap?
I kind of did. It was pre-pandemic. It was around 2018 where I started going to comic shops and started getting single issues. I only have 2 volumes though. It was the Ultimate Miles Morales Spider-Man and Batman The Long Halloween. Those are the only 2. Well, actually no.
Nice.
Green Lantern and Green Arrow by Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil.
Ooh,
I haven't finished reading that one yet. But
so you would collect like arcs or like you say volumes, like specific titles and then move on kind of a thing?
It was only those 3 though. I mean, everything else were just single issues only because if the art like caught my eye, especially like some of them had variant covers, like some of them were like Catwoman or like other characters. But I mean, other than that, like when I actually read the stories, like some of them I was like, it's not really hitting for me. But that's just kind of how
visually,
it was.
But visually, you're like, that's dope. Yeah, that's fascinating. And so to know that you end up collecting some of the stuff that we're going to look at and customizing that stuff to like create versions of these characters is really neat. Because I'm always really curious. You're not like super young, but you're younger. And as you know, you've worked with really young kids at one point. You were saying you're teaching with elementary school, right? Yeah,
both elementary and high school.
So you worked with younger and high school students.
Yeah.
And so I work with high school students. My wife is a 5th grade teacher. So I'm in very young worlds in that way, and have always been really intrigued about like what their pop culture is and how they get into it and how deep they get into it versus, maybe they're, oh yeah, I was into that, but I've grown out of it. So it's always neat to hear people's entry points. I want to look at your stuff, but before we do that, let's say hello to the folks who are hanging out with us live today. Appreciate all of you doing that. And Scotty Quip is first. And so Quip, are you proud of me? And I actually think it's all Marcus. I started at like right on time. I said it was going to start at 3 and I didn't wait till, the 5 minutes or 10 minutes after. So I think that's you, dude. This guy was here early. I saw you. I was panicked. Like, oh, he's here early. No. Yeah, you're gonna get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm just flowing now. But you still panic even like hopping on other people's lives?
Oh yeah, dude. Like what was it? It was Collection Nexus. I think I panicked. In a good way. In a good way. I mean, they're really nice, especially Jesser. Shout out to Jesser.
Yeah,
he's like always like accommodating.
Guys. Yeah. Anyway, no need to panic. We're just hanging out, dude. Spaded One McDysentery, what's going on? Yeah. Heckin' yeah. I've never heard that before, Spaded. Heckin' yeah. What's up, man? John to the Ross is here. What's up, man? I hear that name all the time. I love when Ernie says your name, man. I feel at home. Video Power Gaming, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us today on a Wednesday of all things, July 1st. Forgot it's the first of the month.
First of the month.
Wake up. Toys and Tits is here. What's going on? Hope that didn't make you blush. I know sometimes when things get said on the channel, you freak out.
Oh, good heavens. If I had pearls, I would clutch them.
Yeah. You didn't even respond to my I messaged you. Did you see the thing about the Supergirl cup?
It didn't pop up. Like it just said post unavailable. I don't know why. Like sometimes.
Oh, that's why. I thought you were like, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that. No. And then Doombot, what's going on? Doombot 9000, good to see you, man. Happy Wednesday. And thank you to everybody here live. Thank you to folks who will join us, and folks on the replay. Okay, I'm trying to remember now what the context was. If folks haven't seen that Supergirl cup, it's really gross and odd. And the lesson was don't let the intern design the merch. But I forget why I sent it to you. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Did you see the movie
I
Supergirl?
haven't yet.
Me neither. And I feel
I haven't.
bummed about it. I'm
Yeah.
bummed at how unwell it did. It's essentially like it's a flop, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And
It's a
that's a
shame
bummer.
because Millie Alcock, like she seemed to like this is like one of I believe this is one of her bigger like movie roles. So it's kind of like unfortunate that not only her but also the actress that play I believe her name's Ruthie, the
Mhm.
the ally that is
Yep,
with her.
yep. Mhm.
So it's really unfortunate.
I'm gonna go check it out for sure. I just celebrated my youngest's birthday and we
Happy
got
birthday.
busy. Yeah. I now have 2 teenagers in the house, man. A 13-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Those are the good years.
Yeah, no, they're great. We
As a
have
former
wonderful
teenager. Yeah.
Yes, as a former teenager. Oh man. You've got great years ahead of you, man. I can't complain. Despite all the ups and downs. Life is good nonetheless. Spaded one, yeah, dude. That thing was that Supergirl cup was not a cup. It was something else. What's up, E? Drive safely. We won't speak too loudly and try not to shock you as you drive home. But yes. And then what is this? Seriously.
The corn
These
holster?
corn holsters are consistently curiously provocative. I refuse to believe it's a coincidence any longer. Who knows? Because again, I joke about the not letting the intern design the merch, but sometimes, like in those studios that do that industrial design for that kind of thing, just like movie posters or, it becomes kind of just a little bit rote, or you're trying to entertain yourselves, and artists and designers famously have little inside jokes. But who knows? We can read into them too. It's fun. So we'll see. And thank you, Toys and Tits. Yeah, man. Enjoy. The kids are great. Hey, Zio, got to hang out with this guy on Sunday for the show, which is great. What's up, man? Good to see you. It must be super late there. All right. Let's go and take a look at some of your work. I want to start by looking at some of your customs. And I want to keep in mind you're more visual. You're driven by visuals. Before I look at this, because I think it's really helpful. So let's bring it up. I'm going to start with your original character because I think this is really cool. And so again, based on visuals, it's a striking, like it's a big old pumpkin head dude, but then you move through the whole thing top to bottom and there's so many cool things going on. First off, that's not a necktie.
Yeah. I will admit I am a little bit impressed that I was able to do that. Not saying I'm gonna apply that in real life.
You impressed yourself. I love that. Okay, cool.
I had to look it up, and I think Google had to they sent me a warning. They're like, "We are here for you," and I'm like, "No, wait, it's not what.
Oh, because you Googled how to tie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, "We are here for you. Call us if you need anything." But yeah.
So this is Jack Salem, aka Patchwork, the Wanderer of Matapan. Is that how?
Mattapan.
Mattapan. Thank you.
It's a neighborhood in Boston.
Okay, sorry, Filipino. So I think my brain went to. It sounds like a Tagalog word, Matapan, Matapang, or anyways, Mattapan. El Silbon. ¿Qué es el Silbon? Silbon.
I named it. So this was based on I believe, Argentinian folklore.
Okay.
The Whistler.
Ah, okay. That's what El Silbon is, the Whistler, and the harbinger of the harvest. Original character, very striking, because then you go down from that, and obviously the dope soft goods, perfect shirt. He went to a color consultant to figure out the best fabrics for his skin tone or something. But the colors too. Is the noose actually green, or that I'm assuming, or is that the lighting? It's got a greenish tint.
Oh no, I think it's the lighting. Yeah.
Okay, because it's very Halloween that way, right? That's why I asked. I was like, oh, that's cool, orange, and then the green.
I probably should put green. Yeah, I thought about that for the stem on his head, but I just never got around to it.
And then we get to the robot body, which is, I'm assuming, a Black Series droid.
Yeah, it was a kit bashed with two of the I don't know the droid designation, but it's from the Mandalorian. It's voiced by Richard Ayoade.
Oh yeah, I love that
yeah.
character. I was bummed that he spoilers came and went so quickly.
Yeah.
But
I got two of those just so that I can give him like double jointed knees. And the arms are from the Cobra Bat from the Classified series. And the torso is from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection SPD A Squad, any of the male Rangers.
Bunch of stuff going on. Okay. So yeah, that's the legs, and then you said these are the bats. So have you been customizing for a while? Like you're cutting figures up, like you said you bought two of those just to give it, you said give it double knees. So I'm assuming you actually, got it.
Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but I mean it was
but it's
like what was my first one? I mean, I don't have pictures of it like on my socials, but the first custom that I've ever completed was Jackson Wang from I think GOT7, because one of my best friends, she's a huge K-pop fan, so I made it for her birthday. Awesome. And ever since then I started doing custom, like I'm a novice when it comes to customizing, but all of it so far is just like original characters or DC stuff. And maybe Power Ranger stuff, but I mean I'm barely even there at completing any.
Well, I think this character is really cool, man. And I know like sometimes it is hard to like get in on something, then have to deal with the world or whatever and get distracted. I notice you've got like some different works in progress, but it's all cool, man. It's all really good stuff.
Thank you.
There are a lot of things going on here. So how did you get into it? Like, when do you start saying, hey, I like this toy, it's awesome, but I want to cut it up and turn it into something else?
That's a good question. I mean, for one thing, I am definitely inspired by a lot of people in the community, especially Customs by Machu. I just want to give him a shout out because he was like one of the first people that helped me from the very beginning. And like even though I haven't been doing much in the last year or so, he has always supported me. Him, Astonishing Customs, formerly known as Token Customs, Devon Art, and even some other folks that we will be covering today, I hope, Luber Customs and Dang Productions. Just seeing like their work and seeing, and again, these are just the tip of the iceberg in terms of like people that have inspired me in terms of making customs. So just seeing them, seeing their work, I just kind of want to try to do my own thing, especially with a character like this. This was kind of like Island of Misfit Toys. So I want to do like characters that well, for one thing, with him, I wanted like with some of these characters, I was inspired by different genres, whether it's literature, story writing, film, music even. So there might be some like hip hop influence, some punk rock influence, things like that. And in this case, he's like a little bit horror, a little bit Western in there.
It's great. Yeah, it definitely bends genres, and it's like, I don't know. I'm just intrigued. I'm, these days I am really into original IP, indie stuff. And there's a bunch of reasons for it. But the main reason is that I grew up like a lot of kids in the 80s. Like I spent plenty of time with Star Wars and with G.I. Joe and with Transformers, like He-Man, all that. And I love it. I'm also very interested in new things. And I am very much interested in seeing like this nerdy pop culture thing that we've got going continue. So I want young folks to have their own things. It's like, I was talking about that with Zia the other day. Like they kind of need to have their own things that they can celebrate rather than be like, oh yeah, my dad's into this and so am I. So I'm into this. I love seeing that, and I love seeing people come up with characters. I'm curious, do you like write out stories and stuff with this, or is it just like something you visually create? Do you have an idea of a story?
I actually did with some of these characters. Like I've with the sort of like Land of Misfit Toys sort of characters, I wanted them to kind of be like they don't exist in the main canon. So they're characters from, well, for one thing, Man, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but um yeah, I mean, I had bios for all of them. Like for um wow, I'm already forgetting. For Patchwork, like he's from Matapan. He's kind of like a bounty hunter a little bit.
Okay.
He's the marksman of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I always thought like how cool would it be if these characters interacted with official, as you were saying, like official IP sort of characters. So imagine them like interacting with like characters from DC, Marvel, Star
Yeah,
Wars, this, that, and the other. But
that's cool. So I'm curious. The other thing I will say is you're making customs, but you're making functional, highly functional, oftentimes more functional than figures that were sold. Uh, toys. Like this thing poses really well and so that's what Zio's saying too. And we'll get to it because that's why I was telling you I like your toy photos, and I think you kind of said we're joking like I don't really do toy photography, but like you do, and the posing is like on point. So like
thank you.
very visual, like the angles on this, it's super dynamic. So look at this, and then when I was talking about functional, like making it so that you can actually move the eyes and stuff, that's really cool. So is that an important part of your when you're making customs that they are highly articulated and
Yeah.
all that as well?
Yeah, I like to try to do it as much as possible. It's not always perfect. Like when I was making Wildcat out of like some McFarlane and Marvel Legends parts, um, like it's like I said, it's not entirely perfect, but I try to do the best that I can. Um, and I always like sort of had this the idea that if I ever get into stop motion or anything like that, I want to make sure that these characters, like these customs or just figures in general, move as smoothly as possible. But I'm not going to do that because I don't have the skills set of skills yet.
This is amazing, man. I think the posing is great. I hear you say things like, "Oh, I'm not that good," or "They're not that great," or "I don't have those skills yet." As a educator or someone who's worked in education, it's just a matter of time and effort and practice. So, but you're doing great stuff. The posing, the dynamics, like the singles still right here has a story. It tells me who the character is, a little bit about their mood, a little bit about, like there's a lot of great things going on. Okay, let's do some functional stuff. I'll check in with the chat, but like talk to me about this head. How did you make this head? These were like something else. These are toys or something?
Yeah, they were the extra pumpkins that came with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Yeah, it was the Lightning Collection pumpkin wrapper, and he came with extra pumpkins so that you could swap out the helmets from your other Rangers, because I think in the episode like they just
their heads became pumpkins.
And I just carved out the sort of like jack-o'-lantern design, and I put two like these beads that I've had since I was a kid. I used them for the eyes, and then I stuffed it with Sugru, which is like a silicone sort of putty.
Okay.
And yeah.
So that's the black is the Sugru, and then there's a cavity in there, and you're just kind of moving it around.
Yep.
It's really cool. It's a really cool effect. And that, once you zoom in, you're like, oh yeah, those are beads, but it totally, it reads perfectly. Look at that. Really cool, man. What's up, John? Thanks for hanging out. We're not customizing. He is customizing, and I'm appreciating his work. We're starting with one of his original characters. What was it? The Patchwork. What was the full name?
Jack Salem.
Jack Salem. Love it. Story there too. The moving eyes are 6. Says Doombot. Dude, imagine you should totally make a mold of this. That'd be great. You'd probably have to like redesign that. I know the pumpkin because it's not yours, but it's really cool, man. I think it's a cool looking
candy corn weapon. I'm sorry, I just read
it. Yeah, no, for sure. Just like Zio, man. I was looking at his stuff the other day, and I was like, man, I want all these figures. I want these characters. Of course, you have parts in there that he uses. He does a lot of kit bashing as well. But it's like, if you could then step back and reimagine, like you could design this as toys or a comic book, man, I would love to check it out. Very cool stuff. And it all starts for me, like you, with the visuals. So I look at this, I'm just like, cool, I want to know more about it. So anyway, I think that's really cool. cool. Other folks seem to think as well. Hey, what's up, comic fan man? Welcome back. Yes, that Supergirl cup is amazing. He's seen your stuff on his random
Thank you.
feed. Nice to meet the artist behind the art. What's up, comic fan man? Thanks for joining us. John to the Rossi, he gets it. He heard you said Mataban, I said Mataban, and he knew where I was coming from. Musta John to the Ross. TD3 Trooper, what's going on, man? Good to see you. But I almost did miss Twizzler 19. Hello. Good to see you. All right. Cool. This is great. I want to know more about this character. I want to see more from this character. And again, you're making really like functional toys. So when I see this thing move better than some of the toys on, that you can get off at Target or whatever, it's pretty wild, especially when you realize they're made from parts of toys that were at one point sold at Target. So this is cool, man. Great character, great figure. What's the base body? Like the torso and
it's the SPD. Power Rangers Lightning Collection SPD A Squad. Any of the male Rangers, because they just share the same body. It's all black underneath. They just put armor over it.
I see. Very cool. See, the Ranger talk. Some of that is like way over my head. I remember seeing it visually. Like, I challenged myself to at least check out every single time a new Rangers was on, because I was really into even doing the same with Super Sentai and looking through magazines and stuff, because it just looked cool. But for me, no offense to you and other fans, once like the teens started talking and we're on screen out of costume, I was like,
yeah,
I'm out.
It's definitely like an acquired taste. I mean, there's definitely a lot of like campiness to it, but I think there's a lot of charm in there too, especially with the older series.
Yeah, and like I said, no offense, because man, I look at some of the stuff that I used to watch and I get it. People would be like, what are you watching? At the time, loved it. But colors were a perfect match too. And
thank you.
Oh, what about this? A hat.
See, that was actually something I kind of had a little bit difficulty with, because I want to give him like either a cowboy hat, or is it, I think it's called a bolero, like a really wide brim hat.
Okay.
But since it's a pumpkin head, it looks already big, it's gonna look like
be extra big.
Yeah, it'll look kind of puny on him. So I wasn't really sure.
Hey, and so going back, is he a super villain? And thank you, John L226, for the super chat, man. I really, really appreciate that. Totally don't need to do it. I'll try my best to just pull up the questions anyways, but thank you. Is he a super villain?
He's not a villain, but he's not a superhero in a traditional sense. He's just kind of like, he just wanders around Matapan or Boston in general. So he's just, I think in a way is kind of similar to Yojimbo, or I guess
nice.
Wow, what's his name? It's the Western series based on Yojimbo and Sanjiro. Good, bad. Was it? Yeah. Is it Good, Bad, and the Ugly?
Yes.
And a few dollars more.
The Man in the Hat or whatever. What do they call him? Yeah.
Yep.
I forget what his name is. Sorry, it's been a long time. But that's cool. So he's not even an anti-hero, it sounds like. He said a wanderer who finds himself in the middle of adventures. Very cool. I dig it. All right, let's move on from that original character to this original character. What's going on with this guy? This is dope.
So it's basically me. It's like my avatar. Yeah. No, there's no resemblance, but this was something that I started back. It was like during the pandemic, I think 2020, 2021. I bought, it was a SH Figuarts Bodycoon off of GBS lot, and also bought a bunch of clothes. And this project, I decided to like change the articulation so that I can get a little more range.
Nice.
And I combined it with a CT Toys knockoff Mafex Black Suit Spider-Man. Like, I love that figure so much. Like, I bought like 3 or 4 of them because I love using them for like shorter characters. And since I'm kind of a short guy myself, I decided to use that sort of articulation here. And it's a little bit of improvement. I mean, you could still see in some of the shots there were you can still see like the abdomen and like the arms from the CT Toys figure.
So what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. I've never even seen well, I guess I'm familiar enough with what it's based on. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
In terms of the story, like him and Patchwork, they're on the same team. Like it's in a way like these characters, like the Land of Misfit Toys, I kind of base them kind of like my interactions with people, like with some of my friend groups back in high school. Like we were all just like drastically different, or at least I was. I was different from everyone else. But yeah, I just kind of want to base that sort of like camaraderie, that sort of like those sort of relationships with each other into this. So he's kind of like, at one point I thought about making my avatar into the only human in this Land of Misfit Toys, because every other character is based on, like I said, different genres of literature or of pop culture, movies, things like that. So some were more sci-fi, some were more gothic, things like that. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much.
No, you're good. You're good. This is cool. I love, and for some reason I didn't even put together that him and the Patchwork are like in the same world. I just thought of them as sort of different characters. Got it now.
Yeah.
And I love that you're kind of like a little bit autobiographical too. Like you said, it's kind of like the channeling some of the dynamics between you and your friends. This is cool. So so he's under there. You said there's a human underneath there wearing this thing. It's like a glowing Oni mask. Where's that from?
That was also from GPS Lot. That was one of my favorite things from there. Unfortunately, I broke it a couple times. That's the reason why, like,
the horn.
Yes, the horn. For some reason I can't find the tip of it. Like I don't know where it went, but if you can see the gold around his mask, those are actually the areas where it broke. So when I glued it together, I was inspired by this technique. I think it's called kintsugi, where it is like the process of fixing pottery with gold. So I wanted to emulate that here.
Or Kylo Ren's mask.
Yeah.
That's cool. So he actually did break in all those pieces and you glued it back together.
A funny thing is I had a story sort of brainstormed for the mask breaking.
Of course you do. That's awesome. And so the modification. So this is like you said, this is what I was trying to show earlier. You were mentioning that it's a combination of like the CT Toys, black suit, and the bodycoon. So what is it? The shinier plastic parts are from the CT?
Yes.
Like the arm? Okay.
It's just the arms, the abdomen, the waist, and the hips. So what I did here is I actually combined the top part of the thigh and the socket from the CT Toys.
Oh, that's
and the rest
right
of
here.
and the rest of the lower leg from the bodycoon, because I still wanted to keep that sort of silhouette of the bodycoon, and I didn't want him to be too muscular either, because it's like I'm not ripped, so I don't want to do that
either. Everybody who's in the chat though, each of those guys, they're super ripped. But anyway,
swole.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as far as like, were there articulation reasons too? Like you chose those different parts of those different bodies?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like you were saying, aside from stylistic reasons, but also for articulation reasons, because I realized that the bodycoon is a little bit limited, even though it's their intention was for artists and for like dynamic poses. It still felt very limited compared to in this case the CT Toys. And yeah, I just wanted to get more range.
Find the best parts for the job. That's cool. So I'm curious why you wouldn't the CT Toys. Oh, I hear you now. I'm realizing. So the reason you didn't keep that body is too muscular.
Yeah,
is that the main reason? Got it.
Yeah, I didn't want him to look like he's about to bust out of the hoodie or the sweatpants.
Yeah, I gotcha. But look at all the work that's involved in here. So you're dremeling out that.
Oh, it's so messy, dude. Yeah, I had to sand the shoulder sockets with the butterfly shoulders so many times just so that it could fit in the chest. And funny thing is, like, I managed to get this done on a deadline, which is something I should probably do more often, like set realistic deadlines for myself, because that's partially the reason why some of my stuff never gets completed.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on your capacity. I get it. Why also put pressure on you? But so have you been like, I don't know how hard it is to crack open these figures. I've never tried on either.
It's so hard.
Is it? Okay.
Like I basically had to.
I assume they're sonic welded.
Yeah.
So
what?
Yeah.
With the bodycon, like I basically had to clip the entire inner frame away from the shell, basically. And for the CT toys, I had to slice open the outer layer to reach the like what you see here, the inner frame for the CT toys. A lot of drumming, a lot of dust everywhere. I looked like I was covered in cookies and cream, basically.
Yeah, inhaling plastics.
Yeah. It was yeah, that's how the before, basically.
Got it. Wow, it's cool work, man. And all the clothes are sourced from GPS lot.
Yep. Except for the flannel. I was trying to look for a good like flannel shirt just to tie around his waist, because at the time, like, I was really into flannel. As a teenager. I don't know why. It was a phase, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to emulate that here by giving him a little flannel shirt.
Autobiographical. I love it. Toys and Tits says the mask and soft goods are sick.
Thank you.
John is going to go back to his original comment. I'm assuming for this one as well, for this character as well. He needs a hat. And he says, "Hey, bro, if you're breaking it already, style that shit up. Half mask, real Oni underneath." What do you think of that?
I actually thought
have it revealed.
Dude, there's so many Oni masks, especially with like third-party companies. There were some that came out recently that I would love to get it just to replace this one, just because like color-wise, I'm trying to go for a more black and red color scheme with my avatar, because with each member of this team, I want them to be different colors of the rainbow, like one specific color scheme.
That's
so like
Rangers
for Patchwork,
vibe right there.
Yeah, so like with Patchwork, he was orange. For my avatar, he would be red. But yeah, there are so many good options out there for Oni mask. And I also thought about replacing the head sculpt underneath this with the Hush, so like Mofek's Hush, because I had an idea to make him like bandaged underneath, just so that like he just does not show his face. Just like how I kind of wish I don't show my face that often, but here I am. I'm all exposed.
You're here. It's too late. We know what you look like.
Oh yeah, no.
I get it. I get that shyness too. Comic Fan Man loves the was it Kintsugi? I'm not saying that right.
Oh, now I'm thinking of the nine-tailed fox.
Yeah, Kitsune, not Kitsune. Yeah. Kintsugi. Yes. What was I going with that? Comic Fan Man was saying that gives his character a lot of it gives the mask a lot of character. Man, Wednesdays, I can't talk on Wednesdays. This is why I don't do shows on Wednesdays. What's up, Nate Strong? He's an A now. What's going on? Raceland's here as well, and I believe Raceland and I have a very similar vintage, and we're looking at all this now. And 100%, man. Toys are very different, absolutely. So, Toys and Tits just says felt, like material for what? What am I missing?
I got confused. I didn't know if you want me to use felt for
I don't know,
for the clothes.
I'm not sure, but I think that's cool, and I love that you're building out these characters. Are there more characters that you've started on that we don't see yet on IG, or?
Sort of. I mean,
okay. So you got ideas that are in the works, maybe bits and pieces collected for fodder.
Yeah, it's just as of right now. I mean, as of this year, I'm trying to focus on just one project that I haven't even started yet in terms of like buying like fodder. It's just so if folks haven't seen my profile picture, it's of an original superhero character that I've been meaning to do. I created him back in like middle school, and now I just kind of want to take it like the next step further, like actually make a figure of him, like actually make it tangible. I've even had like plans to write a whole story for him, like write an actual comic book.
Yep.
It's just a little bit it's going to be a long process. It's kind of like the sort of like end game project for me.
Nice. That's cool. So that's this year. You said you wanted deadlines. Is this an end of the year? Is this a year from now, July 1st?
Hopefully like around January.
Put it out there. Sure. And you know, if you don't miss it, no big deal. But if you miss it, no big deal. But all right. Love it, man. I love the creativity. But now, you mentioned this earlier, and I know you're really into DC Comics. Wildcat is one of those that's like super old, relatively obscure, but then was featured in Justice League Unlimited, was it, at one point, which was dope. And then was also, oh God, it's been so long. Was he not in one of the TV shows recently? Like one of the WB or CW shows?
Yep.
He was, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Arrow, I think season 3. He was he was like Laurel Lance's boxing coach, and he appeared in Stargirl. Completely different actor.
Suited up.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ted Grant got some time and is kind of clearly now a little bit more in the zeitgeist. So what made you want to create him in sort of CT or, Mayfek style?
Well, funny enough, this is actually made out of domestic figures. It was made out of...
is it?
Yeah, it was made out of McFarlane Project Superman from the Flashpoint timeline. And
wait. I didn't realize. Okay, yeah, because now I see the rubber undershorts.
But giant diaper.
But you gave him thigh swivel, so those aren't his legs.
No,
those aren't the original legs.
Yeah, those are the it was the War Journal 2-pack Punisher, because so that's slightly bigger than the Vulcan body.
Got it.
I know, like I think in hindsight, I probably should have just used the body as is, but I mean, I tend to overcomplicate things. I don't make things simple for myself. I put myself through suffering.
No, man, that's part of the journey and the struggle, right? It's part of the learning and all of that. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I especially love him in the all black. I actually got the full on McFarlane one.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of more on the purplish side, if I'm remembering. Dark blue, purplish. He's actually in my classroom now. But I love it because it's him. It's a classic character. He's big, he's long, he's lanky, but he fits right in with like Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures. So he's the hairless cat that's like trying to be as cool as the other cats. But this looks cool, like the wraps and everything. You tried a couple of different things with the wraps, right? To get to the solution.
This was with what's it called? It's like athlete's tape. So it's like stuff that athletes use for either like hockey or just like any other sport. Actually, so I think going back to what you were asking earlier, well, I just wanted to say this as like a shout out. Kit Bash Customs and I believe Ace Outlaw Customs, I've learned the technique to combine a Marvel Legends parts with McFarlane, because they did that with characters like Bizarro, Superman, things like that. So they used the torso from the McFarlane for that sort of articulation, like the ball joint at the waist and the diaphragm and the shoulders. But they used the arms and legs from Marvel Legend just to shorten him a little bit and also like kind of make the proportions be a little bit less awkward, I suppose. So I just want to give a proper shout out to them.
Nice.
And
yeah, it looks really good. I mean, the overall like result is pretty cool. Even those shorts look pretty good. Like you don't see them. I don't know. There's something about those legs. I think the thicker, and then the distance between the knee and the socket is shorter. So there's something about that works.
speaking of Mofex, I actually bought the regeneration suit Superman from the
Uh-huh.
Return of Superman storyline because I thought, maybe I should make another Wildcat so that it fits in line with the rest of my Mofex stuff,
Hmm.
or use that for Black Manta. So it's like I got one. Should I use it for Wildcat or Black Manta? I don't know. Um, but also like kind of like what you were saying earlier about Justice League Unlimited, that was kind of the reason why, because I
Hmm.
remember when I was a kid, I went to Toys R Us and I got a Wildcat figure from the Mattel
Yep.
JLU line,
Those are so
and
cool.
yeah, and it just appealed to me as a very plain costume, but I kind of like simplicity,
Hmm.
uh,
Me too.
and because of that, like I started getting into the character, and especially now that I'm a lot older, like
Mhm.
I like his sort of character type. He is the one that has taught a bunch of superheroes like
Mhm.
Batman, Catwoman, Black Canary, and I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of a character like him kind of being like a teacher, being like old and
Yeah.
grizzled, and
Mhm.
especially like I said, going back to different artists, I love Doc Shaner. I even tagged him in a couple of my work in progress posts,
Nice.
and he actually responded and liked the post, and uh, is I think that's like one of my favorite moments
That's
in
awesome.
life.
Yeah, like he's seeing you vibe on his artwork, but now creating your own 3D artwork. That's awesome. Love that. You get to connect with these creators. This is cool, man. They look great together. Um, I love this. And Zio's saying very clean custom.
Thank
I
you.
don't see it as overcomplicating things. I see it more as making it more fun. Yes, absolutely. And challenges. That's what I was saying. It's like part of that's the progress. Part of that's the learning, right? Trying to figure out how to do these things. You just said like you saw Kit Bash and I forget who else, like figure out how to combine these things. Like that's the learning part that intrigues me, really cool. Really, really cool. Let's see. If Medi Toys releases head packs again, then keep an eye out for it. Yes, they
Oh
do
yeah,
do Onis or Orcs. I've got.
dude, their orcs are perfect for Hulks.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember when it first came out and people started doing it. Like I used to like tune into the Sunny channel when he used to do live
Yep.
streams on Sundays, and
Hmm.
he would tell me like, "Oh yeah, Marcus, don't do it. It doesn't look that great anyway." And I was like, "All right, I'll take your word for it." Then everyone started doing it, and I hold it against them every single time. I'm like, "Hey, Sunny, you remember when you told me not to do this?" I
Yeah,
hold it
man.
against them
You got
every
to
time.
go with your gut. You saw what they're doing. You liked it. You should just go with it.
Yeah,
And to clarify, Toys and Tits was saying like he was feeling it when you were
yeah.
talking about the deadlines, 100%. And John is asking, do I have custom Star Wars ships in my own style? You know what? There was a thing called, I used to, as part of the AFOL community, adult fans of Lego. There were these contests by trying to remember what it's called. From Bricks to Bothans. It was a website of and it had like old school message boards, and they
Mm.
would do this annual ship building contest. Like you create your own ship within the Star Wars universe. From Bricks to Bothans was like a Star Wars themed thing, and I used to do that all the time. And it was custom ships, and yes, it was all about that, like creating cool bounty hunters and what their ship would look like and how they captured it, like all of that. So that was
So cool.
what I was doing in terms of that kind of thing. But I haven't really customized. I've done some customized figures, and I have a lot of like works in progress that I've just never, finished. And I don't generally share them. It's just sort of a thing that I've done, but fun stuff. Here's a whale pooping a peach, which is kind of rad.
No,
No,
that's
I'm just
the
kidding. I'm
that's
just
the
kidding.
whale booty. It's a
I was
reference to
kidding.
the Sunny channel. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. It's been
Yes.
so
No.
long since he streamed that like
Uh,
I'm starting to lose touch, man.
all right. I love Wildcat. Let's see. Here's a little bit more of the work in progress.
Yeah.
Really cool.
This
And I
was
love that you share this. This is great to
yeah,
see.
these were actually parts from the Black Panther arms and legs.
Mhm.
And I decided to change it and go with the Punisher ones because they're a little bit bigger, because in the comics, Wildcat, he's a little bit bigger than Superman and Batman. He's 6'5". So I
Mhm.
wanted to really emphasize that. Even though I personally kind of like the proportions here a little more, but at the time I thought, you know, if I decided to go back to this, I could use it for other characters that are a little bit slimmer or like more, I guess like basic shaped as for a superhero.
I like it though, man. And I love seeing how it's all done. And you know, I love that you share that for other folks. You know, you're obviously learning from other folks. It's cool for you to share that. There's a couple of things that you've done more recently, just painting some heads, but these heads in particular are from a cool set. Is this Dang It?
Yeah, Dang It Productions. I love their work, and especially like the fact that they are a huge fan of Dan Mora's
Really
art
good.
style.
Mhm.
They have been doing like Dan Mora's style, like in this case Superman. They've also done Batman, and it's just really cool because these are probably my favorite Superman head sculpts because not only have because we haven't had good smiling Superman portraits in a long time, and even now it's very hard to find. So seeing Dang It Productions make it, especially in Dan Moore's art style, I just love it.
I think I have. Maybe you know what? I think I lost. All right, grabbed the wrong thing. But you had a more finished look of him hanging out with Superman. Let me pull that up. But these heads do look great. How long did it take you to paint something like this?
I think like condensing it maybe a couple days, just because, you know, like I had to, like, with certain factors aside, like weather, you know, things like that, because I can't really paint when it's like too humid, things like that.
No, sure.
And also like motivation is a huge factor too, because I'm easily discouraged. Like I have this thing where I just call it like what's it called, like perfectionist plateaus, where
I've seen your I've seen
yeah,
your
like if something goes wrong, then I just kind of like pause, or if something is going too right, I just pause just to make sure I don't mess it up,
Mhm.
and then that can happen for months or even years.
There it is, man.
Yeah.
I totally can understand that. I think that's when I was saying, oh, I've got stuff in work in progress piles or whatever. That's the perfect phrase to capture. You know, I want it in my mind and I can't get it. I'm just like walk away and it stays. But these are great, and you're
Thank you.
100% right, man. We are so lacking in expressions in general, but for definitely for Superman. Like, you know, he's got that, for lack of a better term, Boy Scout like thing about him, right? Very smiley, very, you know, like the every person kind of a thing. And we don't see enough of that. We see him angry, serious, fighting,
Constipated.
but yeah, sure. That, you know, when he can't get things going through that Kryptonian biology. But yeah, this is really cool. I love the expressions. I wish like that Wonder Woman that just came out, the Mafex one. I want more expressions.
Oh yeah.
They'll give you like multiple heads with like kind of similar expressions, and I don't really get it.
So I actually have a plan to make Wonder Woman, even though I talked about just wanting to focus on my
Project.
profile picture superhero.
Yeah.
I actually bought a body for Wonder Woman because I just wasn't too crazy for the Mafex one when the prototype was shown last year. I thought about using I mean, I'll share this now because I'm sure I'm never gonna get this done and someone will do it instead. So okay, maybe I shouldn't show this. I just realized it's N.E.W. Toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's N.E.W. Toys. Oh,
sorry to show again. Yeah.
There we go. N.E.W. Toys NT04 Xiaofang body. And I just wanted it because, I mean, because of the size, because she is a little bit bigger. She is actually almost eye to eye with Superman, with the Mafex Superman and Batman, but also the articulation. It's so much better than a lot of Mafex female figures because, like, even though I do collect Mafex DC stuff, I have a bit of a gripe with some of their female figures, like Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, because not only do they basically share a same body, but also just the articulation is very limited. I showed it in one of the Catwoman posts on my Instagram, but even trying to mod the elbows, like trying to cut a couple of the
I saw that,
like the inside of the elbow, it just it doesn't do anything, and like you can't really get
barely got like maybe another 1 or 2 degrees.
Right.
Yeah,
And
we'll take a look at that one because I really like your Catwoman as well.
thank you.
Let me see if she's coming up. Well, real quick, we'll look at this guy. He did, I mean, even just simple mods, right? Like getting a new cape for this Martian Manhunter totally like changes him. It looks so much better with the purple too.
Thank you.
And I like your I like this at the very end.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for the tip plastic carved thing. But he does work, by the way, pretty large.
Yeah.
That said, yeah.
This is like one of the few benefits of McFarlane's skewed scaling, because like there are some characters where they should be taller, but they end up being short. Actually, you know, the new Hellboy, like he's pretty short amongst the McFarlane figures, but amongst 1/12 scale, it's perfect.
Yeah. Wait, I saw this. Oh, you know what? I don't know. I think I get the Catwoman later, but we'll see her again, I think, when we come back. But I love what you're doing with these DC figures. I love the posing. So this is more of like your photography. And I know you're like, no, that toy. But it's really cool stuff. And especially the posing, as Zia was pointing out earlier. Like all of this, like, I don't know if you study those old comic books or if you're like emulating them, but you've got an eye for setting these up. No, but so if not, your poses are great. And, you know, it's one thing to get a pose by a single character, but then to put them up against one another and have them interacting, it's really cool, man. Looks great. It's like fight choreography. It's great. Oh, here she is. Okay. Beautiful figure based on a wonderful design. This is I really like this take on Catwoman. But here's what you're saying. You're saying you took this and you actually tried to carve out some of the material.
Yeah.
And I think it's later here. But wait, I can't just gloss over these. Look at the poses, man. They're really great. This one right here in particular, that legs for days.
Dude, the new Catwoman with, I think, is it UPF?
Yeah.
I think I want to get
level.
That.
Yeah.
If I had money.
I understand, man. Beautiful stuff. Hey, what's up, Owen? Good to see you, man. We were just you know, mostly kindly we were just talking about some McFarlane stuff earlier and some mods that Marcus here is doing to him. Owen has done work or does work with McFarlane.
Oh.
And what's up, Obi-Wan Chingones? What's going on, man? Yeah, please catch the replay, man. Do on your own time. You do you. But this is great. Classic posing. You know, we've seen this before. But she sells it. Look at that. Excellent. Had to be done, right?
I love Darwin Cook's work. I mean, rest in peace, of course. He's one of my favorite artists, you know, growing up, especially like Justice League New Frontier.
Thank you for reminding me. It was on the Collection Nexus. I got to check in. We got to check in with Jesse to see if he's ever gotten to see New Frontier. I think it was that show where he said he had never heard of Darwin Cook or that. Maybe I'm misremembering it, but I thought it was you guys were talking about his work there. Maybe not. But that is one of my favorite pieces of DC based anything. The animated New Frontier, that and Phantasm. I loved the way those stories were told. But anyways, back to this. Yeah, had to be done. That's great. And then here, this one right away. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get it. Love it. Great poses. And then there's a part here with the shoulders. There you go. So if you take a look, talk us through this.
I really thought I was onto something, but I was not. I just tried like scraping off the material in the elbow, because there's like just like added sculpt, I guess. And they just tend to do this with all their female figures, or even like the X-Force Deadpool. They did that too. So I thought, you know, maybe I could just, you know, try to get some sculpt
carve
off
it out and free it up.
It doesn't do anything. I just wasted like an hour just scraping off.
This is maybe, I don't know. No, you're right. Like it's just a couple of degrees. Get a little bit more of a touch there between the forearm and the bicep. But, you know, a little bit counts. But I guess not for the value or the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
it. I don't know, man.
So
Wow,
you're just yeah. And when you're doing this, are you just using a Dremel, or are you
Oh, no.
heating it up and carving?
Carving. I
Carving.
normally use a Dremel for custom work just so that I could speed up the process. I mean, I know it's very risky, but I feel like I am careful enough to use a Dremel. But in this case, since it's so small, I just use an X-Acto knife.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree with you that it maybe isn't worth it, but the figure itself is you're able to do what you need to do with this figure to get these poses. Really cool. She looked great. And then I want to move into your teams. Like every now and then you do these appreciation posts or just kind of stand them up. And this is, man, I live for this stuff as a kid, or when artists would do that. Like they did that a lot with G.I. Joe stuff. A lot of those like early Justice League JLA stuff or JLI stuff was all about like team covers and stuff. I loved it. Art Adams used to do that too with the X-Men. So this is really cool. And it's kind of neat to sort of see your collection of this particular line, right? The Batman Hush stuff. Turned out well.
Thank you.
And then you got the ladies up in here. This is all good stuff, man. This saw this and was just like, yeah. Now, granted, you heard me talk about Power Rangers. I'm pretty ignorant. Intentionally, like I said, I don't stick around past once they get to the high school or the diner or whatever. It's like, zoop, I'm out. And I've struggled with localizations in general. Like I was really big into Battle of the Planets as a kid. You familiar with Gotcha Man?
Yes.
G-Force. Yeah, when they brought it to the States, they did G-Force, and then they had to like insert teen moments where they're talking, or there's a little cute robot that talks to them, not unlike what happened with Power Rangers. That said, the suits, the costumes, been a sucker for them ever since I saw them as a little kid in a Japanese toy shop. And then the bookstores, you know, you see these pictures of these people in these colorful suits and you're like, what is this amazing thing? And again, I was familiar with Gotcha Man, which I feel like the notion of the team and the teen team superhero was like the blueprint, right? And then they did it in tokusatsu live action. So love this stuff. Love to look at it. So when I see this, man, I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
How many times do they fall down though? And then everything fall down at once?
So many times. Even before the stream, I knocked a couple stuff over. And okay, I just want to go on a quick rant. It drives me nuts whenever something like the collection falls over, but they don't fall over normally. They do like somersaults. Like for some reason, the figure in the back is all the way in the front. The figure on the left is all the way in the right. I don't understand, and it drives me nuts.
It's the ghosts. It's the ghosts. Hey, on that note, Milkman, Brick Something. What's up, man?
Thank you, Cheney.
Cheney. What's going on, man? $20. Thank you for the super chat. You know you never need to do that, but I appreciate it. But yes, hello to you, man. Thank you for dropping in to check out our conversation, looking at some Power Rangers. And we got Shelf Presence up in here. What's up, man? Great to see you. Thank you for hanging out. Comic Fan Man is saying, man, my kit bashes are similar as can be, mostly head swaps and armor swaps, but I love it too when I get inspired.
For sure.
This is cool, man. I don't know. Did you ever play a iOS game with the Power Rangers characters where you fight? And I think you had like 3 buttons or something. And then does this sound familiar at all or no?
No, like I never grew up playing video games, man. That's more of my brother's things.
Well, this is an iPad thing. And again, I don't watch Power Rangers, but when I saw you could basically collect all the suits and you fight and you unlock all these characters. Man, I spent way too much. Like at first I was just like, I'm just going to play this game and unlock these characters. And then I got impatient because I'm looking through and like, that character looks cool. And I was totally that guy who spent way too much money buying suits, basically, so I could fight with them knowing nothing about the characters or whatever. But purely as a visual exercise, I think all of this looks amazing. And to see them all here is great. I'm assuming, have you checked out like a lot of those Super Sentai team up movies where they're all there?
I try, but you know, I think we mentioned this before this before stream. Like a lot of them, like sometimes you would get lucky and someone puts it up on YouTube. And I actually watched, I think it was the first superhero Taisen where it was a crossover between Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, even though the story is nonsensical, but it was just so cool to see characters like the Rangers and the Riders like either fighting each other or teaming up. And it's just like basically the largest gang you've ever seen fighting against like the Black Cross and Shocker, and it's just wild.
And all live action. So they literally got like 30 people in these cool suits running around with pyro going off, and you have to witness it. And so that was me, man. Like I'll look them up on YouTube just to watch it, throw it on the background or whatever, because it's so cool.
And as some Toku fans would say, it was basically Avengers Endgame before Avengers Endgame.
It was exactly that.
They literally had portals too,
decades
just like coming out.
Decades before. I love it. What's up? Look, speaking of awesome people, this guy, one of the most awesome people on the planet. What's up, Yimbo? A couple of awesome guys right there. Hey, man, I hope you're having a good summer. Hope you're enjoying that summer break, because, man, let me tell you, I sure am. This was cool. This is for Power Rangers Day. We got the Ultraman. I didn't even know two of these characters, but, again, I see them all the time. I'm just like, they're cool looking. And to have them all here and the way you've got them all posed up with all the personality, the push-ups is what got me. And we'll get there in a second. But this is cool stuff.
Thank you.
So what are you collecting then? So you've got a bunch of different stuff. You got the DC stuff. You've got some, Mafex, and you've got this stuff. This is SH, right? Yeah. So what do you collect? Are you kind of have collections, or are you randomly picking things that draw your interest?
Yes. But primarily, like, in terms of DC, I mean, since I'm kind of stuck with Mafex, and other than that, I mean, like, some Marvel Legends. But yeah, I have, in terms of Ultraman stuff, it's very limited. It's just based on designs that I really like. Like a lot of Blue Ultraman. So if Chamba, if he's watching, or if he's gonna catch this on a replay, like he knows that I like Blue Ultras. And I actually have, like, I can't see, they're all behind the laptop right now, but I have a couple of them. Or just like, again, with the red one, that's Ultraman Regulos. I just like his sort of like simplistic design. Well, I wouldn't say simplistic, it's more aesthetically pleasing.
Sure.
Especially with
he's probably one of the more complicated as far as like lines and stuff of any of the Ultraman. Yeah. But yes. He looks good. These all look great, man. I love it. Posing is great again. Then we go to here. We're just talking Endgame, but this kind of stuff, I'm all about it. So I really appreciate when you do these. Please continue to do them whenever you feel the need to, like, put together teams or just these appreciation posts. I think they're all cool, and you kind of flip through it. And I think I'm like you, it's like, I don't need the word bubbles. Just give me the pictures, and right. This is you with your comics. Good stuff. Okay. Let's switch over and let's talk about some other customizers. These are folks who I know have influenced you, that you're into. You shared some of this stuff. I wasn't following his stuff at all. So tell me about Looper.
Okay. Looper Customs. I love his work. I have bought a couple of kits from him. I haven't finished anything with his kits, but he makes a lot of kits for CT Toys, or even like some official brands like some Mafex. I think he did it at SH Figure Arts, the Game Reverse Cyclops trunks. But other than that, like, I've bought some blank kits for the Black Suit Spider-Man. I've bought a blank kit for the Daredevil. So he does a lot to kind of like finish your sort of collection. So he has done this for Green Lantern. He has one for Hal and John. He also did these two characters on the slimmer Daredevil body, but these are his latest ones. These are on the Batman Hush body. So I like these a little more. And he also did a kit for a couple of Flashes, so Barry Allen and Wally West on the CT Daredevil body. And actually he did the Spawn kit that Met made for Chamba on Toy Migos Assembled. Sorry, they're not dolls. I just conflated two live streams. I'm sorry. Yeah, so he does a lot of cool stuff. He has also done Invincible and Batman Beyond for the the Black Suit Spider-Man, the CT Toys body. Trying to think of what else. He actually did Red Hood recently.
Yeah, we'll take a look at. I think there's a Red Hood that I pulled up, but basically he's doing, like you said, he's doing these kits. But what's nice is, like now we've got the CT Toys mess. I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, there's CT Toys mess. All of that stuff, like we're getting the knockoffs essentially of these bodies that, of these figures that people can now use as cheap blank bodies essentially to do customs off and build off of, which is kind of neat. And so he's taking advantage of that and creating these kits that people can put together. How many of these have you ever done? Any of the things that he's put out?
I've only, like I said, I only have the blank kit for the Black Suit Spider-Man because at the time I wanted to use that for John Kent Superman. And I bought a blank kit for the Daredevil body so I could use that for Aqualad. And I think in one of the posts I shared my work in progress, but like I said, it's been almost half a year since I've made any progress. But if I were to do anything new, I would love to make a Hal Jordan, because I highly doubt Mafex will make one, because with the current lines that they're working on right now, so Superman for Tomorrow and Justice League with the Lobo figure, assuming if they're going to make any Green Lanterns from those lines, it will most likely be John Stewart and Kyle Rayner.
Right. Well, we're going to get a whole lot of Green Lantern content. So we'll see. Maybe that'll spark some interest in going back and doing a Hal. But you've got the kits. Check out more of the Looper stuff. I really appreciate the variety. Again, you can make a good, I shouldn't say good, a Spawn that can move well. How about that? You can make a Spawn that can move well using his kit for the Spawn. Using, what is it? I guess you could use the same body that you used. The black suit Spider-Man, or make it easier.
These are for the CT Daredevil body, since it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit taller. It's a little bit slimmer too. I always thought like Spawn would be the same sort of bulk as like Batman or Superman. But yeah. Sorry,
I didn't intend to give us all a Spawn crotch shot, but this leg is always a trip. Even as a kid, I was like, how does that work? But here, proof that I guess it could work. If you bent your knee and you need your toes, it could work. Now, but this looks really good. For some reason, Spawn has been one of those characters that has come up quite a bit when I've been doing these shows and looking at good customs of them. Ooh, look at that.
Nice.
Classics. Yeah, this is cool. And this one. Beautiful.
It's perfect.
This is that Daredevil, right? Clean.
He also did he also sold, like, he sold the whole figure. Like, he made a bunch of them. Like, he just bought a bunch of Daredevils off of AliExpress, and then he painted up the kits. He even printed the ankle joints in yellow so that you don't have to worry about paint rub or anything like that.
Right.
And yeah, wicked expensive. Unfortunately, I didn't get one, but yeah, it's really sick.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's a lot of work. When you were saying that he was doing it, I was like, oh my God, that's an amount of work. But there's the body. Very cool. And then here's that Red Hood. Very, very, very cool stuff. What is this one based on?
I think that's based on the CT Batman body. Yeah. But yeah, he sculpted the chest and I think the forearms and also the waist and the whole leg section.
Very cool. Looper Customs, I love it. And I just appreciate when folks are like filling those gaps of like, hey, the companies aren't making this thing that we want. And so they're like, cool, let's do it. And again, with the whole CT Toys, Mess Toys, it makes it that much more possible when you got that cheap base fig.
Yeah. Bullseye.
Yeah, so good. I guess they're the same height. I guess he's just, he's up front. Got it. Clean. Look at that. Sorry, I look at his nose of his costume. That's my biggest live action Daredevil gripe is that we don't see his nose.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
wrong. They
Did you
kind of turn
see
him into
the?
like that Batman thing, Batman
Oh yeah.
Wolverine. What's that?
Did you see the leaked photo of Daredevil's suit? Should I even
No.
mention it? Oh
I
no.
mean, I don't particularly. I don't care in terms of the stream. I want to know what do they do? Do we see his nose?
No nose, unfortunately. It's the same old helmet, but
Okay.
for the most part, it's kind of like a progression into the red suit, because you know how like the black and red suit from I think season 2 and from the previous season, it was like slowly like starting to show the red underneath.
Yeah.
In the leaked photo, you're starting to see more of it, and I think because of that, it looks a little bit like, you know, the Daredevil figures where they have a lot of like cell shading or just like shading in general. It's starting
Yeah.
to look like that.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, Cheney. Sorry. Oh no, he said spoilers, Marcus. Oh no.
Leaks. They may
Oh,
not
no.
be real. They may not be real. He might
It's
have just seen
fake.
some random stuff on these weird internet sites that he goes to. You know, these young people, Shaney.
What have I done?
These kits are absolutely cool, man. I love that he's doing them. I'm curious, how much is a kit? Like not painted or nothing, just to add on.
Well, the blank ones, I think I got them for like 20, 25, but you know, this was like maybe last year, so I'm sure like prices are starting to go up a little bit. You could also actually buy these just the files on Cults 3D, and also Looper Customs has his own site, so you can buy it from there directly, or you can just DM him. I think the cool thing about the files is that when you buy them, you can design it however you like, especially like the blank kits. But also, I was thinking of like, you know, what if you got a Flash file and then you used it to make Reverse Flash or New 52 Flash or anything like that. But yeah, like Batman Beyond. That actually, funny thing is, Dang It Productions, he did his own Batman Beyond kit off of Looper Customs blank Daredevil kit. It's because he wanted like a slightly bigger sort of silhouette. So instead of using the Black Suit Spider-Man, he used the Daredevil body.
I love this world that we're in, man. You're getting, you know, kits being done by customizers. You're getting cheaper bodies because of CT Toys and Mess Toys. Although shame, I get it. But you know, and then people sharing their tips, like you and others, and then having this back and forth kind of conversation of like, hey, I like what you did here, but I want to make adjustments. Look at that. All the different bat symbols. This is cool. I've always been intrigued when people would try and like interpret what these things that we see in drawings, whether it's animation or comics, into like more 3D or live action. So seeing this face is definitely at first a little bit jarring, but I'm like, oh, it's kind of neat. I could kind of see that. But anyway, he's really cool. Looper is really cool. They are. I don't know who they are. But then there's, you just mentioned Dang It. Dang It Productions is also doing a lot of like, you know, Mafex style bodies, but in customs. This cap head is pretty cool.
Yeah. Like it's so much better than the official Mafex one. Like I kind of have my own gripes with the Mafex comic Captain America. There's a lot of reasons, the head being one of them. And this one kind of like alleviates all of that because this is very artist specific, and I really like that. I think even though I want some synergy within my collection, there are certain designs where I just really love them, such as like Terry Dotson's Wonder Woman, or as of recently, Ed McGuinness Green Goblin. I love how stylized and angular it is, and I would be totally down for some head sculpts of that.
I'm sure it's got to be a pain in terms of like if they were ever to do this and like, you know, do licensing or whatever. But I've always wanted that, like get those specific looks by these particular artists to do a figure.
For sure.
And then go crazy and do like Bill Sienkiewicz anything and see how that all works out. But That'd be amazing. This is great. I love this, and thank you for turning me on, because I don't pay enough attention to superhero customs these days because I'm so inundated in a different world. But this stuff has all been super great to look at. Here's that Flash.
Oh, dude, he has this on his eBay and Etsy, and I really want to get it.
What are we talking?
The head sculpt. He actually has.
No, I mean, sorry, I'm money. I'm curious.
Oh,
have you
the price?
Is it okay? Yeah.
I mean, it's he made it himself, you know. So I mean, a lot of work went into it. So I'd say like, is it 16 or 30? I mean, that's a huge gap.
No, that's
but
not bad.
I just don't remember. But I still have the tab on my phone just open, ready in case if I ever want to get it.
It's clean. It looks really good. It does have the sort of sculpting stuff that's a little bit more in the modern, but that's matches with the body. It's great. Yeah, this stuff is really cool. And then let's move on to a different artist. D. Love D.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool dude, but does really great work, especially kind of trying to make DC characters that'll work with that Marvel Legends world, right? So, which hopefully that's what we'll actually be getting from Mattel, knock on plastic. But this thing is cool. What was it about Black Lightning, this one? Because you actually shared this one with me as being something you wanted to look at.
Well, for one thing, like I said before, Devon art is like a huge inspiration to me, especially his Green Lantern stuff. Like I love like his is it Joe Mullen? Joe Mullen, Green Lantern. Like she is a character that I've has been in the works that I've been wanting to make for a while. But like just his whole process, just showing like how he makes his customs, and also like Black Lightning is a character that that has been in the pipeline as well. Like I had an idea to use like the CT Toy Superman because his arms are just all blue, and I was thinking of like his pre-Flashpoint look, so like his design during the Outsiders. But yeah, like I said, like Devon art, I just love his work, and he's just a huge inspiration. And also his work is just so clean, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, he's really talented, and I love that he loves those metallic arts, metallic paints. We were talking Turbo Dork the other day, but same here with with the metallic, it's kind of cool. It's a really cool look to see these Green Lanterns in metallic greens. So good. And then here's the one you were talking about. Love it, man. Yeah, these really cool, super talented. I know he's working on some stuff, and I like. Why do you watch him as well? Talking toys on A&R?
I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's cool. No, really cool dude. Sending you links. All right. This is all great. We started talking on the show, talking about your dad bringing you comics and getting into like the visuals of it all. Let's take a look at agreed, Zio. Let's take a look at some comic art. You sent me one, and I want to thank you because I did not know this person's art, but it is fantastic. And I started digging through the IG.
Oh, yeah.
Kai, the IG is devised by Kai, but I'll just do a quick scroll through before we look at some specific things. But man, this is so right up my alley with the references that he's drawing on, some of the things he's addressing, and then his own original work. So absolutely there's stuff here that we all know that we're either maybe nostalgic for, or maybe more recent things like Invincible that are like, oh, that's cool, I love it. And to see his take on it, it's like a really fresh combination of art styles that he's developed. Look at that. Love this stuff. But I'm especially intrigued by his indie or his own little world that he's doing. He's doing a lot of this stuff where he's drawing on influences of stories that we know, whether it's like Pinocchio or Sentai even, or there's a little bit of JoJo's going on in this with like a really dope Black American twist that I love that we'll take a look at in a second that you sent me. Might have just passed it. All good stuff. So folks should definitely go follow Kai's work, and let's take a look and let's dig into it a little bit with some maybe more nostalgic, familiar things. Like, this is my first comic love, was the world of the X-Men and the mutants, right? And Storm was a part of that. This was a part of his series. Was it just this year? No, 2 years back. During Black History Month in February, 3 years back now, February 2023. He was doing a series of different characters, interpreting them for Black History Month, and Storm looks sick. I like his take. It's a little bit more modern than I'm usually into, but I like it. It's tasteful. It's taking some older elements, like her crown tiara thing from really early on, giant size X-Men #1 style, but then mixing it in with some of the other things we've seen over time. I dig it. Have you spent time going through all this, or was it just that one image that you wanted to talk about?
I went through a couple of Kai's work, and I just love, and you know, this is reflective of a lot of artists that I would see on Instagram too, that I love when they're doing their own take on certain characters. Like in this case, Storm, they kind of take from different designs and they consolidate it into one, but they do it in a way that is so well done. And I just love it here.
Absolutely. It's really well done. Like even her hair, the choices on the hair too, everything. You're absolutely right. Super well done. How about this? We'll do some DC.
Dude, like I've been wanting to make a Vixen figure for so long.
What's up, Sonic?
And
sorry, my bad.
Again, like with this, I just love the certain like sort of touches. Like it's not just a superhero costume, but it looks like something that like you can wear. Like looks like something that like you can and it's actually very fitting for the character, because I believe Vixen, like her professional career is a fashion designer. So this is actually really perfect.
It's totally like using streetwear. You're right. Even that Storm, if you look at that, some of that stuff is pretty wearable. But yeah, this is great. Maybe some
Grumps.
leggings, right? What's up, Grumps?
I forgot to say hi. Sorry.
The kicks are dope. She looks great. And then we've got, of course, and I'm not even like a big
Spawn.
Image Comics fan during the 90s at all, but Spawn has come up a lot lately on the show. You know, because there have been some really cool customs, people using like blank bodies, like the Whaleworks body, and then now the CT toys to make movable spawns.
Like I was talking to Rensu about it, because I saw, I think 5K Toys, they were doing like a customizer showcase with the Whaleworks body, and now I'm like, I feel so dumb for not getting it, but I mean, I don't have money, so
yeah. Then we can all appreciate it from afar. But again, shout out Kai, man. They're doing some really great stuff. And so this one, where is it?
Just the motion of the chain is so dope.
It's very cool. And I love that it kind of turns into almost like ribbon here, like just the stylizing of it's really cool. All good. And then we get to this. We were just looking at a CT Toys based custom of this guy, but I dig the kind of futuristic thing. It's very different. You know, I'm very much in love with the original design. Kind of to your point earlier, less is more sometimes. So I love the simplicity of that. But this is cool. Cool little like modern, almost, you know, I don't know. I was gonna say anime manga, but definitely it feels a little bit more Western kind of take on that stuff. Kind of neat, but I was really intrigued by this. I love this idea. This is so Kai was intrigued by a proposal on Twitter to do kind of a gender bent. Oops, Terry McGinnis.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't see this.
I just like, oh, that's cool. There's something about the emotion of early Terry in there too, and the eyes are super intriguing.
I also love the outfit too. Like I wish I could rock something like that.
Yeah, look at those boots, man. I want those boots. Although I bet they're not comfortable. Very little support on the ankles there. Come on. It's not practical. Yeah, you could rock this. Come on, I want to see that. Bright orange jacket. The Milkman will go bright orange.
Orange milk is abysmal.
Here's the thing that you sent me, and this right away, I saw it, I read it, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what they're doing. I love
Yeah,
it. This is the one.
I love this so much. Like, this is
Go.
something where when I first saw it on Instagram, I thought I would love to make a figure of this if I had, if I had the resources to do so. So thing is, this is actually their older concept art. They have revised it.
Newer. Yep.
We see it a little bit closer to the top, but I just love the idea. This is like a generational superhero, like
Yep.
is a mantle, and also like you see the previous superheroes that took up the name Brass, like you could see like the different time eras that they're from, and I just thought that's so cool.
Here's the line, right? Meet the Brass. 5 generations, 1 trumpet. Like, that says so much already, conjures so much, but then you put in the particular context of what he's going for. So they've got this trumpet that essentially is like this powerful, supernatural, kind of fantastic thing that gives the wielder the power. And as you said, it passes on through this family.
Yeah.
So there's the family tree. I'll go back here. You've got the first one, top brass, brother brass, lady brass, B, and then current brass. And
so cool.
Yeah, there's like, so I can hear the stories, I can see the stories, like Toys and Tits. Totally love this concept. It's so good. And like you said, there are other designs. I think I want to say I had them here. Let's see. Yes, I did. Okay, here we go. Let's meet here's the newer designs. And so this is one I was saying felt very JoJo's to me too, in that way of like, you follow this multi-generational story through this family bloodline, but then also the outfits. Like, it's very, it's not Western comics really. It's very like of that world, right? If you watch JoJo sometimes, I started Steel Ball Run, and my son couldn't figure out, was having a hard time reconciling why we were in sort of the turn of the century Western American dude was in like this bright star-spangled thing in a wheelchair. Just couldn't make sense of it. And I was like, you just gotta let it go. You just gotta go. And I feel like that's what Kai is going for here.
He has a oh, sorry. I just love this. Like, seeing the sort of like is it tagline? Superhero by day, pop star by night. And it's just like it just like what you were saying earlier, just saying so much with so little.
Totally.
Right?
Sorry, what did real quick, what did you teach? I forget.
I teach, I think, English, but specifically creative writing.
Okay, so you're teaching writing. Sorry, because my teacher thing went off right now as we were looking at this. There's a typo that my brain went off. And sorry,
Conductor.
Kai.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw that and it totally interrupted my flow. I was just like,
yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, but yes, the tagline is dope, and the font choice is very, I'm assuming, like, I would guess that if I were to read this and everything that's going on, that this is like the 90s version of this character based on like the font and everything she's wearing. But this like font combination and the kerning of that particular font is very 90s. Sorry, I'm old, but yes. And then we've got Brother Brass. So this has got to be 70s. So good. Private Eye by day, musician by night. So he was what, like 60s jazz, 50s maybe?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I want to see this. Like, this is what I mean. I get excited by new IP. It's 2026. I've seen a lot of things. I love the He-Man movie, but I'm down to go past He-Man and find some new things. And this excites me. So,
devised by Kai, I think closer to the top of his page, he shared new art for Brass, and it has more of a teal color scheme. Yes. Yeah. And he said issue 1 now in production. I really hope to see more of it because this looks very promising. It just like, it looks iconic already. I know that might be like an over exaggeration, but it's true. I mean, it looks like
Oh, 100%.
Like this is very unique, and I'm not saying that facetiously.
I love too that it's like track 1 facing the music. Very cool. Yeah, I want to see this. Look at the artwork, man. I love it. On paper, even. See, kids, in the last century, we used to have this stuff from dead trees, and we take like burnt pencils and charcoal. No, but yeah, no, this is great. I love seeing it. Very cool. I want to see this as well. But this is just like one of so many different story ideas, though, that Kai is doing, because on their site, there was, on their IG, there were a bunch of cool like story ideas that clearly like have influence from some of the stuff that you and I are into. So this, had you seen this already on his on their thing? Yeah, this is the stuff, right? This is the Sentai Ranger team of different people, like with a theme. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of Sailor Moon going on in here too. But I love this. I just saw this immediately. I was like, I want to know more. And I quickly like went through all the different posts, and more recently started to earlier this year, started to show a little bit more of each character. So this is Red Venus, Heart of the Solar Six. Again, I don't need the whole story. I'm intrigued by the visuals and the concept, and I could totally see this going.
It just catches your eye immediately.
Got Silver Moon, the leader of the Solar Six. Love it. Percy Planet. Love that old school alliteration too.
I gotta
turn on fun,
my light 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. Mars. All of this stuff is really cool. And then you can kind of see like the work in progress development as it goes through. Toys and Tits is saying, I could see Disney or Pixar picking up something like this and making a movie with a good soundtrack. Exactly, right? I feel like the team that got all excited to bring us, oh my God, was it Soul? Yeah. I could see them doing some amazing stuff with this. And yeah, I could totally see it. I would also just love to see Kai really continue to develop it and take it where they want it to go. But look how different this has evolved over time, right?
I love
so like
this one, like
that
of
this one here.
Yeah, I like that one specifically because it just makes me think of like, I don't know what the name of the art style is, but you know how like in the 50s and 60s, there's like a very simplified art style. I think of like the Incredibles, you know, like at the end credit scene, it kind of, or like maybe the Jetsons,
like that mid-century modernism. Yeah, the Jetsons, totally.
Yeah.
And then here's more, a couple more concepts. Again, the Kai is clearly a talent with a lot of ideas and the ability to visualize those ideas. So I have no doubt we'll be seeing more from what they're trying to produce and develop. But in the meantime, I love these concepts even. Keep posting them. Let me enjoy them. Portia Planet is Red Venus. Again, we've seen some of that already. And then Green Saturn. So really cool concepts. Like, and you know, this is like a production team's dream to find like a project like this with someone working on it and help them bring it to life. So I love this stuff. That was the Ranger Sentai super team. And then there's this stuff, Nokia Starheart, which is a little bit more on the fantasy side. Kai talks about it as being sort of a sci-fi flip on Pinocchio. But what a cool, just cool looking designs. Like, look at this world that's built.
I love this one.
This one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because we talk toys, hell yeah, create this stuff and then give me the toys. I want to know all about this world. I want to see what can be done.
Dude. Now that makes me think, like this in the style of, is it Ashley Wood?
Oh yeah.
Or, dude, this would be perfect in that style.
Yep. Zombies versus Robots or World War Z. 3-0 stuff. Yeah. Look at all that. Love it, love it, love it. There were a couple more from that, but you've seen it. And so it's funny that you sent me these, especially you sent me the brass one because it's music, because I wanted to talk about this indie comic artist, Abby Muñoz out of LA. If you're unfamiliar, folks, go check out rockandroar.comic on IG. Rock and Roar is the name of her comic, her original comic series that's like on webtoons and on her website. This is Abby. So I'm a music head, and I've done the band thing. So there's something really intriguing about the story about a kid who is like just super into music and wants to be a musician. In this world, by the way, they're all animals. And yes, I guess I do support and work with the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line, but I swear it's not the only thing I'm into. But it just happens to be that this creator is creating anthropomorphic animals, and starts off with a kid who wants to be a rock star, begging his mom to be able to go to a concert, and then becomes a musician and builds a band. And I haven't read all of it, so I'm really intrigued. But what excites me about this stuff is the way Abby is working in real world references. So all of these like shirts and stuff are based on real world bands. I had that shirt, but mine was white on black. No, black on, white ink on black. It's a band called Embrace out of Washington, D.C. One of the guy from Minor Threats, like follow-up projects after that. And then this is Rites of Fall, is the Rites of Spring, again, another DC band. So I love that she's weaving in these music references through this too. You can tell that she's really into music, and going to shows and checking out bands, and and the way that they're written, it's a little bit of that like dynamic of people who are into bands and music and stuff. But then what I loved about this stuff is it's very classic. I say classic, I mean, when I was growing up, this was that animation style coming out of Disney in particular. Don Bluth, right, who was working with Disney, did his own studio, did Dragon's Lair eventually in Space Ace. A lot of that I see in this, but definitely with a little bit more modern style going on. And I love just seeing artists to show us their own original ideas, and then like the process, so like the different expression studies and explorations. So these are all like different musician characters or just other fans that the main character meets. Before I get too far on this, let me actually turn people's attention to rockandroar.com, which is where Abby tells you all about the story, but also you can read the whole thing. It's all there for free. And you can like join Patreon, etc. So this is the kid that you follow, right? And he's a kid in 1976, the year that I was born, but he's already here. He's totally like dreaming of being a rock star. And I'll just give you a little bit of a tease, and then gets interrupted by his sister, who's like, dude, you got to go downstairs. We're waiting for you for dinner. And then you start to meet his family and how he's like trying to convince his mom that he needs to, become a musician and go to the concert, and the adventure or the stories go from there. But I love the art. There's something definitely classic about it, but still new, which I'm sober enough to acknowledge that like really there's not a whole lot that's new under the sun. So all creators are pulling from somewhere, some things they've seen. So I love that she's actively like, hey, I absolutely love Western cartoons. I also love music, right? And kind of working that into their thing, not unlike you and your customs of like, hey, this is my dynamic with me and my friends, and I'm pulling from Power Rangers, I'm pulling from this. So anyway, I love her work, her art style. And she's, does other stuff beyond the comic. She's a, professional artist who's worked on different animation stuff, has worked with different, I think Osmo or some like educational toy stuff, like has worked with product developers, some UI stuff, user interface stuff, some animation stuff. But I'm just wanted to talk a little bit about this her actual comic, Rock and Roar.
So
cool design work. And it's funny. It took me a while to even realize, like, oh, is this an Animal Warriors thing? It's not. I'm intrigued by what's going on, the world she's putting on. I actually should show Jason of Spiro these, because he's a big music guy and obviously loves animals too. Anyway, I just wanted to share just a thing for people to check out. I would absolutely love to see action figures of these two.
Absolutely.
Hey, maybe I'm into something. Maybe I need it. And these are like the human, if she were to be challenged to turn them into humans, that's what she's doing here.
I like how like closer to the top, like there is some art that, yes, there was a little bit of a lot of like Disney sort of like sort of aesthetic, like sort of inspiration, but I also got a little bit of like some of the Cartoon Network shows that I watched, specifically what was it called, 16. I think that's what it was. Let me look it up. But just like the way, oh,
is there anything in here that I'm passing?
Oops, sorry, maybe a little bit up. It's like
are you
closer to
talking
the top.
So like when you say the Cartoon Network or what they call the CalArts style, have you heard of this?
CalArts.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's an LA art thing. There's a school called CalArts that actually was funded, I think, in part by Disney, and a lot of Disney animators used to go to. But during the 90s and 2000s, there was this, like Thundercats Roar, very abstracted. Like that's what people started to refer to as the CalArts style, versus the like this stuff that's very like more like, say, classic. It's like that's a dog that's meant to look kind of like a dog but exaggerated, versus the straight up abstraction, like super simplified shapes and stuff.
CalArts, I might be wrong, but isn't that what people describe with like Gumball, or even like, I don't know about Steven Universe, maybe.
Yeah, like Steven Universe, exactly that. Okay. Sorry, I made a face during Gumball because we were having this old guy, young guy moment where I didn't know the reference, but you got me with Steven Universe. Yes, 100%. That is kind of the style. But yeah, no, she's definitely versatile and has worked on a bunch of different things. So she does a ton of like different type of work. So this is something that she was working on called Monster Camp. That's clearly like a different type style, a little bit more like that, based on like simplified abstractions and stuff. And then there's this stuff that's a little bit more like, this stuff almost looks like old riffs on old classic kids storybooks. Beautiful work. And then we get into like this stuff that's, I love that she did like an amp cover.
That is cool.
With the band. That's the band. And then let me show you, end with one of the bands. This is like one of the big heavy metal, like I don't know what you call it, like a classic band that everybody loves and knows, like the legendary kind of metal band. What are they called? Something Stampede. Steel Stampede. Totally looking like this dude reminds me of sorry, this might be an old guy, young guy thing, Motorhead, but totally looks like Lemmy from Motorhead. Oh, I love this stuff, man. And then here is Miles, spoiler alert, who gets this fun moment in the comic with a legendary metal band. So anyway, art, folks, enjoy it. Go out. There's new things under the sun, believe it or not. They may be riffing on old things, but it's not all He-Man, X-Men, Spider-Man, Superman, G.I. Joe. There's all sorts of cool things, and this is what I am in the moment really excited by, because I think it's cool. And thank you for sharing Brass with me and Kai's work, because that is amazing. I definitely want to see more, and we'll continue to watch more. And thanks for sharing your stuff, man. You get I know you get a little shy, or I don't know if that's a word, self-deprecating. I'm going to use that phrase because that's what I have been told about myself in other circles. And I think you and I may have been what's exposed to the same sorts of factors that make us maybe a little too in our heads sometimes. But you do good stuff. If it's helpful to hear from outsiders, I think you do awesome stuff. And I love you on Ernie's show. I love seeing you guys talk and listening to you. I love your artwork. I can't wait to see that little tiny character transformed into a figure. That's your project, right? January 2027.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Don't worry if you miss it. Just work on it, man. Zio's got it. Great show, and he's saying great seeing Marcus's work. He's a fan, and
thank you.
You know his work. That's saying a lot from another talented dude. All right, so what's the plan? Dare I say plan? Do you guys plan? Do you actually? Here's a question. I'm curious. Do you actually know on any given week what day, or if you'll be doing a stream for the Fallen Fett Chronicles, or is it truly as impromptu as it seems?
I'm just worried that he's like 2 houses away with a sniper.
Okay, never mind. You're right. I don't want to get Marcus in trouble, but I love Ernie and I love the whole thing. So I will keep watching Tuesdays. How about this? We'll tell folks, watch Tuesdays on the Toy Amigos channel. Watch Chat Amigos Assembled. And maybe about like 10 minutes or so into the show, you'll get your first indication as to whether or not it might show up. Then by about 30 minutes, it might change. Then by about an hour towards the end, it might change completely again. But we might hear whether or not there's a show. Is that fair? Is that how?
Sure. That's good enough.
Anything else people should follow you on other than it's.guy.jin?
No, I'm just.
Those are the main places?
Just on Instagram. I mean, my account is private just because there are too many bots, dude. So many bots that are asking me like
many bots.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say what it is. I'm not trying to get your channel taken down, but it's
fine.
It's just like bots from like I don't know, Belgium
selling
for
you
some
Supergirl
reason.
cups. Yeah, like, hey, check out this Supergirl cup. You might be interested.
It's like, we love your content, and I'm like, you like action figures? Jessica from Albania? I doubt it, but it's whatever.
So how many times did you respond before you realized they were bots?
Oh no, I block them immediately. I am quick with the draw, dude. I just get rid of them faster than I get rid of flies. Quick.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. We'll look out for you on IG, and then folks will look for the Fallen Fett Chronicles whenever they drop. There is one question I realized I didn't ask though. Guy-Jin. I'm assuming, or Jin, but I'm assuming, am I saying it right? Guy-Jin? Is that where you pulled it from? It was. You want to tell the folks who may or may not be familiar with the term?
From what I understand, hopefully no Japanese native speakers will crucify me too hard, but it is based on the Japanese word for like outsider, and that was going to be like my stage name back in high school when I was getting into music, getting into poetry, and it was a long time ago, man. I was a young lad, but not anymore.
Nice. And you were gonna be Guy-Jin.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
I just wanted to make this a little more phonetically easier to pronounce until Lago on Chat Migos Assembled tried pronouncing it, and I was like, okay, maybe I did something wrong here, because like the G's in the same name are pronounced differently. So it's like he thought it was Guy-Gin, and I was like, I didn't think this through.
No, I think you did. I think most people would see G-I-N and think alcohol and go Guy-Jin.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I don't drink, so it's kind of like
I'm there with you. So if we're ever hanging out with all the toy people and they're drinking, we can talk.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So go follow it's.guy.jin, like the drink, over on Instagram, and look out for the Fallen Fett Chronicles. Hey man, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. It looks like it's getting cold, so you had to go grab your blanket. Well done. You're going from hot to cold, hot to cold.
I'm actually hot right now because, dude, it's like 100 degrees in Boston.
It's wait, that's not the blanket then. What are you doing?
No, wait, I'm confused. It is the blanket, but Now I'm
But
confused.
you just said it's hot because you said it's hot, and then you grab the blanket. That's what's.
But I also
confusing
have
me.
the AC right behind me. It's like tight.
Oh,
It's
got
like-
it. Got
So
it. Okay,
I don't know what
got
I'm
it.
doing.
It's all good. We're all confusing each other. Time to panic, Marcus. Time to panic. All right, I'm gonna play some music and we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, folks, for hanging out. Tune in this Sunday, 3:45 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be hanging out with Sejuro, Brian Ramos, Hsejuro. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his Instagram name right. And we'll talk about his customs and customs that Josh Brown is going to be bringing to CarverCon next weekend. So check it out. All right, man. Let's stand here and look as awkward as possible. Got it?
Oh, okay.
Got it, Mark.
Run away immediately.
Oh, come on, man. We're on YouTube. We're living our lives on YouTube. What are we doing? We're enjoying toys. We're having fun.